What is up, guys? It is Squill. Just want to go over today's trade review. Full transparency, did finish the day red. I only took one trade, which we'll go over here in a second. But as you can see, $65 loss, which I am completely fine with because I, 4 of the last 7 days have been over 10%. And this week alone, 24% Monday and 11% yesterday. So, big wins, small losses. That's the name of the game. This loss was less than 1% of my portfolio. So we're still sitting up pretty nicely on the year. But enough of feel bad for me talk. Let's get into the trade review. Game plan for today, SPY. You can see I said with the grind up yesterday and overnight, 394.3 gap is back in range. I didn't see an $8 move happening today, which is looks like it's going to play out to be true, barring some astronomical news this afternoon. But we were looking for a close higher today than yesterday to keep us in range to possibly fill that gap with CPI tomorrow. Otherwise, we were looking for a close below yesterday's close to keep the daily head and shoulders intact. So we're about 2.5 hours into the market right now. And as you can see, we're sitting up near high of day. So I don't know that lower close is necessarily going to happen. But, we still have like 3 hours and 50 minutes. So it definitely could happen. Depends on what we do here. But let's get into the trade that I took today. So as you can see right over here at this 935 candle is when I hopped in calls. And you're sitting here and you're like, how in the world, if you entered here and trimmed here and here, did you get out of the trade red? And honestly, I'm wondering the same thing as we just made a new high of day. I think a lot of it was slippage, and I kind of was like, we were pretty. Once we broke below this like 392.64 level, we had a lot of strength from the sellers, and so it just like killed my contracts, the third of the position that I had left. So that's unfortunate, but it happens. You live and you'll learn. But like I said, entered calls here. We're this first candle, big indecision candle. Holy smokes, we are ripping right now. This first candle, indecision candle, big doji. Let's try and zoom in a little bit here so it's easier to see. Alright, so you got your doji candle here, but we closed above 9, VWAP 21. The 200's not even in the picture, it's so far down there. So everything was looking good for calls. So I hopped in calls here and almost instantly went up, ran to my 392.64 price target, which if we pull back up the game plan, you can see was the first upside trigger. So yeah, I entered in between my upside and downside triggers because the price action was good. Took some off at my first upside trigger and was looking for us to head up to my second trigger of 393.53. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. So what happened, we went over this candle I entered on, but on the next candle, we came back and wicked down close to 9. So I bought more calls here because everything was holding above the 9. Volume was slightly decreasing, but it was still like maintaining a good level. So I wasn't overly sold on us going to the downside. So I bought some more calls, trimmed 2/3 of my position up here, had a third left. I stayed in for all this candle. Yeah, it was a pretty big like red candle. That alone got the contracts slightly in the red. But I was still holding them because it looked like we were going to hold over this level, decreasing volume from this last candle. Things looked good to the upside, in my opinion. But next candle, we got a little pop, and then it just flushed straight through this level. and when it flushed, it did so pretty quickly. I kind of, in a sense, had to like panic sell, I guess, just because that level was kind of like what was keeping me in the trade. So when we broke that, I wanted to be out of the trade. I wanted nothing to do with it. If we happened to like bounce somewhere in here pretty quickly, I probably would have gotten back in just for a little like 9 EMA VWAP retest and then head back up. But you can see this candle caused the 9 and the VWAP to cross down. So it was a good exit in my opinion. Uh, like I said, took a small loss, but it was really like I had the idea right behind the trade, I believe. So honestly, I'm not too upset with the trade itself. I wasn't pleased with the contracts, like how they moved. But that happens. Sometimes it doesn't go exactly how you plan, and you live and you learn. And tomorrow will bounce back and be even better. Um, I did want to go over QQQ real quick too, because this is kind of the reason why I've been trading QQQ to start the year. If we zoom in here, to me, this price action on QQQ is a whole lot cleaner than SPY, even though it kind of looks the same, just as it relates to my levels and as well as the EMAs and VWAP. So, just like SPY, this first candle was big indecision candle. Second candle, we held the 21, got above VWAP, and the 9. The 9 basically like bounced off of VWAP here, I guess. So I would have entered somewhere around here. Maybe the break of the opening print would have been a good entry, just looking at it in hindsight. So something like there would have been a good entry. And then instantly, that's a 70 plus cent move to the upside, almost 80 cents to the upside. So that would have been a really, really nice play. It would have hit my target. I would have been out of a lot of my position here. And then, we couldn't really get above this level and close above it. So I would have cut my position. But then we kind of held above the 9 EMA on all three of these candles with the bottom wicks all getting bought up, and eventually went and broke above that level, held it, and continued on to new highs at the time, and eventually hit this price target. So that would have been a play that hit two price targets, which was usually kind of what I look for at the bare minimum. So that's kind of just the reason behind me trading QQQ to start the year. I tried SPY today because I had two really nice SPX trades yesterday. So, going forward, not sure what I'll do. It's probably going to be a in the moment decision, just based on what the price action is looking like. But that is what I have for today. Overall, decent trading day. Can't really complain too much. But yeah, that's what I've got, and I will talk to you guys later.